Let's talk about a city that just refuses to die. A city that's been conquered, burned to the absolute ground, and bombed over and over. Yet every single time, it has risen from the ashes stronger than it was before. This isn't just a history lesson. This is the epic story of London. I know, it sounds kind of crazy, right? But it's true. 2,000 years ago, this massive global hub was just a strategic little outpost for the Roman Empire. Its journey from Londinium to the London we know today, well, it was anything but simple. So how in the world does a remote Roman settlement become the heart of a future empire? Well, the answer is all about location, location, location. The River Thames wasn't just some river. It was a highway to the rest of the world, and the Romans knew that this was the perfect spot to build a city with a future. From the moment it was founded back in 43 AD, Londinium was all about trade. It connected Britain to the huge Roman network. But fast forward 1,000 years, and you get to the moment that really sealed its fate. In 1066, William the Conqueror didn't just win a battle. He specifically chose London as his capital. And to make sure everyone knew who was boss, he started building a fortress that would dominate the city for centuries. And that fortress, of course, was the Tower of London. You know, it was a place of wild contrasts. On one hand, it was a royal palace, the ultimate symbol of power. But for so many others, it was this terrifying prison, the last stop for anyone who dared to challenge the king or queen.
And this is what's so wild to me. Just look at the kinds of people locked up in there. You've got English royalty like Queen Anne Boleyn, brilliant minds like Thomas More, and then, hundreds of years later, even a top Nazi official, Rudolf Hess. The prisoner list of the Tower is basically a who's who of English history and political drama.
So, London kept growing into this huge, powerful medieval city. But its success was also its biggest weakness. In the 17th century, a completely new enemy was coming. And it was one that no army could ever hope to defeat. 1666. Say it with me. A year that is literally burned into the city's memory. It marks the moment a catastrophe almost wiped London completely off the map and changed its destiny forever. And this breaks it down perfectly. It shows how one tiny accident became an absolute apocalypse. It all started with a single spark and a little bakery. But in a city packed with wooden houses, that spark found food everywhere. The fire spread with horrifying speed, and for 4 straight days it just raged, eating up almost the entire medieval city. Just try to imagine that for a second. Total devastation. The historic heart of one of the world's great cities, just gone. It would have been so easy to just give up. But London's response wasn't despair. Oh no. It was ambition. It was innovation. It was a rebirth on a scale nobody had ever seen before. What happened next, honestly, was nothing short of miraculous. Out of all that ash, a brand new city started to rise. A city designed for a completely new era. You see, the fire gave the city something incredible. A blank slate. All those cramped, chaotic, and pretty gross medieval streets were gone. In their place, architects dreamed up a modern city with wide avenues and huge, grand buildings, all symbolized by the magnificent St. Paul's Cathedral, which rose up from the rubble like a statement of defiance. This new modern London became a magnet for the entire world. It was the engine of the Industrial Revolution, the heart of a massive empire, and its population just exploded. I mean, look at these numbers. From 700,000 to over 6 million in a single century. That is a staggering jump that forced the city to innovate in ways no one could have ever predicted. And it was this incredible growth that really cemented London's status as the most important and populous city on the entire planet. This is the era that gave us all those icons we know and love today. You've got Big Ben and the Houses of Parliament, the incredible Tower Bridge, and to move all those millions of people around, the world's very first underground railway system. But just as London was hitting its absolute peak, its resilience was about to be tested like never before. The 20th century brought a new kind of war that threatened to tear the whole city and its people apart. The city somehow made it through the horrors of the First World War, only to face an even bigger threat just a generation later. During World War II, the city was bombed from the air relentlessly in what became known as the Blitz. And even after winning the war, it had to reinvent itself all over again as the age of the British Empire came to a close. And you know, you can't tell this story without remembering the crucial role played by its allies. During the Battle of Britain, the celebrated Polish pilots of Squadrons 300 to 303 were absolutely vital in defending London's skies from the Luftwaffe. It was a truly international effort to save the city. So, after all that, after surviving conquest, fire, and war for centuries, what is the legacy of this city? What has all of this history made London into today? At the end of the day, London's identity was forged in crisis. Its story is defined by this incredible ability to not just survive a disaster, but to use it as fuel, to rebuild, to reinvent, and to come back even stronger. It is a city literally built on resilience. From a Roman outpost to a global megacity, the only thing that's ever been constant in London is change. Its past is an incredible story of fire and rebirth, which leaves us with just one question. After 2,000 years, what's the next chapter in this city's epic story?